Kimura.SC UFC 145 in Atlanta, Georgia. We're just wrapping up the press conference, Saturday Fight Night, and I'm standing here alongside a true legend in the truest sense of that word, MC Hammer. How are you, sir?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Let's talk a little bit about this fight card. Obviously, you're heavily involved in mixed martial arts with Alchemist Management. On this card, you had Brendan Schaub, you had Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and a true prospect in Rory MacDonald. Tell us a little bit about how you came to terms in working with those guys.
Well, we have a great team at Alchemist, and they do, all the heavy lifting in terms of scouting talent, finding talent, relationships with many fighters and trainers. So they are able to pick out good possible relationships with the fighters we're interested in, or would be interested in.
I want to talk to you a little bit about Nate Marquardt. It seems as if though the rumor mill from the underground was that you had a big part to play when it came to him coming back under the Zuffa brand, Zuffa banner. Is that true?
Well, I mean, just doing what we should be doing as a management company, and he's a great guy, pure heart, hard worker, as you know, excellent fighter, and I felt as though he, really deserved an opportunity to move forward, as we all do in life. We need a second chance, and so I was able to have some conversations that were very helpful with him, getting back into where he should be, and in the Zuffa family.
And what was done specifically, what was promised? Because when he was let go with the TRT thing that lost him a year and a half or so, he was signed to Bama. That didn't really come through. He didn't even have any martial arts fights for that organization. What were the things that were necessarily to do or promised Dana so they could allow him back under the Zuffa brand? Well,
two things. One, the Bama thing at the time was, Bama was at the time solid. So it's not a matter of, the real key there was that he wouldn't be tied up long term. So when the opportunity came back, he would be able to move back over. That was the key in that scenario. As far as what was promised between Dana and I, that's really between Dana and I. But the key was time. Mm-hmm. Time heals wounds, and so we wanted to make sure that the door would be open when a certain amount of time just passed by and allow things to simmer down a little bit, and hopefully cooler heads prevail. And again, Dana has always consistently said that he likes Nate and that he thinks Nate's a good human being and there's not bad blood. And he never said, other than at the moment when he was, obviously upset, and rightfully so, and we all acknowledge that, but he didn't close the door totally after that, with the conversations that we had. In our personal and private conversations and over dinner, he left the door open.
I want to talk to you a little bit about Rory MacDonald. He's been blazing through his opponents of the past. Today he fought Shea Mills, not really that known in the UFC, but outside he's somewhat of a big name. And as he said, it was his hardest fight to date.
Well, Mills, first of all, awesome fighter, and yes. It doesn't. In life, it doesn't matter where, let's take a street analogy, right? You go to the wrong block and you fight a guy who may not be known on your block, but he's known in his neighborhood. Yeah. You've run into the wrong guy. You take a guy like Mills, who's known not as much in the U.S., but globally, he's well known, and you look at his tapes and you see an awesome fighter. So we knew that he was stepping in there with a real potential, tough opponent. And his dominance, complete, from my perspective, dominance over Mills was it was sweet. It was it was science. I should put the word sweet and science together. The sweet science was being applied, right? The ground game was awesome, and not typical ground game, but ground game with a lot of nasty cutting. When he got up, blood all over the place, and he continued that strategy. So I was thoroughly impressed with Rory. He blew me away.
Do you see any title fights in his future come the next, or there was talks, but since GSP will be out of commission for a couple more months, there's been talk about the rematch, the loss that he has against Carlos Condit. In the press conference, he said he would love to take that fight. What are your thoughts about that fight?
Well, he just spoke right now, and he said he want to take his time, and there's a team at Alchemist that will help him evaluate what's next, and he's 22 years old, and obviously, as you saw tonight, trajectory is improving and improving, right? So you have to make any, fast decisions. Just a decision that need to be made at the right time, right opponent. It'll be an Alchemist team, and it'll be, Dana and his team and Silva, and they'll find the right next fight and I'm just excited about what I saw.
Thank you so much for taking time with us. Usually when I wrap this up, can I call you Mr. Hammer?
Hammer's fine.
Hammer's fine. Just Hammer.
And you see that gentleman over there? He makes the wheels go on a daily basis. Not his, which is not his wife. He is.
And so are you, sir. Thank you so much for taking your time and having this conversation with us.
Right,
For Kimura.SC, my name is Melot Sullivan. Thank you guys for watching.